So you stopped on this video because you want to know if it's worth the upgrade to the M5 new MacBook Pro? Well, I think it might be a good idea, but maybe not. Let's get into the details. Let's look at all the information. I'm going to show you some testing. Let's get into the video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Let's go. The reason why I picked up this computer because my old laptop and my old MacBook Pro 2019 with the i9 chip kept on overheating and running so hot that I just couldn't take it anymore. So we had to upgrade and get the new. I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like. And here it is right here. The quick unboxing, very fast. So huge difference from the old one. The 16-inch and the 14-inch are really two different sizes altogether. I was going to show you the comparison. It is just a huge difference. I mean, this is big and heavy. It was nice, but sometimes just too heavy to take with me on the road and too heavy to just move around. And this one here I'm having a much better experience with. It's a lot lighter, a lot smaller. You can see the size difference between the 16-inch here and also the 14-inch. So I'm glad I went with the smaller footprint. Plus it's less expensive. I paid a lot of money for this laptop. I think I paid like almost $2,700, which is ridiculous. It didn't last that long. And I know it has overheating problems. It's very common. That i9 chip just runs so hot. It's ridiculous. But this here runs really, really smooth. I've been playing with it for about 2 weeks now, 2.5 weeks. I'm going to go over some of the specs with you real quick. I'm going to show you what was in the box. So it comes with the laptop, of course. It does come with a quick disconnect, or they call this a MagSafe. Here, this is the MagSafe, which just pops in the side. We'll go with all the ports in a second. This is perfect. You can also charge it through the USB-C if you want to. You don't have to use the MagSafe if you don't want to, but this just gives you actually a light on here, so it gives you feedback when it's charged and not charged. So that's what's good about the MagSafe. There's a little light on here, and I can show you that in a minute as well. So the laptop itself, and it does come with a brick charger as well. And I believe this is either 70 watt, I believe. Well, that's really, really good. So again, 16 gigs of memory already built in. You really can't upgrade it, and 1 terabyte SSD, which is good. For the money difference, I definitely recommend getting upgraded on the SSD drive. Definitely, it's worth it to spend the extra money on that for sure. Okay, so the M5 features the most powerful GPU and natural accelerator built into each core. Apple Intelligence, of course, is into the system. The 14-inch, which I really like a lot. Battery. Really nice long life battery. Have no issues so far. Been running fantastic. Let me just give you some more specs. Again, supercharged M5, and I have an M1, and I compare the M1 to the M5, and it's not a lot faster, but it is faster. And actually did some quick rendering using a program, and the first time I heard the fan go on. So that it does get a little warm if you're doing heavy work with this. So this is a really good intermediate platform to use. A laptop, if you're doing some basic editing, it's okay. I use Final Cut Pro, works fine. No issues at all. So that's really, really good. I'll show you the ports on the side. So here you got the MagSafe right here. Okay, and then you got your right here, the ports, USB-C, 2 ports here, 1 port here. Here is your port here if you want to hook up an extra external monitor. That's for. And then you have your SD card reader right here. So you got a lot of AIs in here, a lot of ports, and also the jack is right here. Sorry to show you the jack here for the audio. So it's got a lot of good ports. So the HDMI port's really nice. Everything works. I've tested everything, and it's just a nice computer. Works really well. Let's open it up and look at inside. It's a touch ID working, which actually works beautiful. The screen is quite bright. It's got a very, very bright screen. Take a quick look at that. Up to 1600 nits of peak brightness. And it's really not, and the keyboard does light up. It's illuminated. Just all around great quality product. If you're looking for a new laptop, I'm definitely going to recommend this for sure. Works well. And one of the programs I was using was called Handbrake, and it's a compressor, and it compresses files for smaller files. So if you get something that's too large and you want to compress it, I use that, and then I run that for my testing. Let's do a quick test on the speed and see how fast the hard drive is. I'm also going to hook up an external hard drive. This is a Thunderbolt 4, not Thunderbolt 5. Now that is a downfall because of that. If you want the Thunderbolt 5, you have to buy the Pro version or the Pro chips to get the faster speeds. But honestly, the Thunderbolt 4 on this is very, very fast. And I'm going to show you that in a second. So stick with me. I'm just going to go over some of the specs on that. So this is what it looks like all around. Really nice. Got this all labeled in the back. See here, MacBook Pro. It's all engraved. It's got the nice feet. It just feels like, of course, a premium product. Not too heavy, not too big, compared to my monster which is ridiculous. This thing weighs about, I don't know, like 5 pounds, I think, 6, 7 pounds. That's terrible. This is really manageable and very easy to use. Again, awake, open it up right away, boom. Going to do a transfer with the Thunderbolt 4 into the Mac M5. Again, with the 4 terabyte drive, I'm going to transfer a huge file over, and I want you to see the speed of just the transferring of the file into here. Let's go into the external drive here. I'm going to grab 5, 6, 7 files here. This is of 291 gigs file. I'm going to drag and drop it into the desktop. Okay, and we're going to see how fast that transfer is. Here we go. There's all that right there. And this thing is cranking. Okay, about a minute, it says roughly. It's just a calculation. 291 gigs. It is moving right along. You can see it's going super fast. It's incredible. It's about a minute to transfer 290, almost 292 gigs. That is just ripping everything from this external drive through the Thunderbolt 4 cable and running it right into the desktop here. Just amazing. It's just transferring right here. It says less than a minute in the time of the technology. That is extremely, this is a huge amount of files. This thing is just ripping and roaring. This is barely getting warm. This is a great external drive as well. I'll leave a link for this here. This is probably the best fanless drive I've used. And this is compatible up to Thunderbolt 5, but unfortunately, again, limitations to Thunderbolt 4. Less than a minute, you see 291 gigs just being ripped from here into the computer, and it's just about done within a minute, 10 seconds left. You can see that is amazingly lightning fast, and that's just about done. 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Wrap that up, and that's pretty fast. That's a lot of data to move. That is a lot. That's just moving file after file after file, and that is done. Okay, so I pulled up the Blackmagic program here, the disk speed. And let's just do a quick comparison. Now, this is just the SSD drive in the computer itself, and then we're going to do an external one using a Thunderbolt 4 connection, and we'll take a look at that in 1 second. So let's run the speed test here, and you can see here this thing is rocking and rolling around 4100 on the write and 5700 on the read. Now it's actually getting into this. It has to go through a couple cycles. So I'm getting 52, 58. Running almost 6,000, close to 6,000. This is 7,000. I mean, this thing is just ripping and roaring. You can see the speeds here are off the charts. Absolutely fantastic. That's a really amazing internal speed. The clock and speed in this thing and the read and write, absolutely fantastic. I love that. Now let's hook up an external drive. I'm going to show you that and compare to an external drive using Thunderbolt 4 technology. Here I have my external drive hooked up. This is a Thunderbolt 5 cable and Thunderbolt drive compatible drive, but the computer only handles Thunderbolt 4. So I'm using Thunderbolt 5 technology here, but the computer only handles Thunderbolt 4. We'll see how that performs. This is a 4 terabyte SSD card in an enclosure. It's already plugged in and lit up. You can see that's ready to go. And let's do a quick test and just see how that works. Let's run that test. So this is running the external drive now, around 3,700. 3,800 read and write. You can see that right there. When I hook this up to my M1, I'm only getting around 3,000. So it is a little bit faster on the M5. Even though I have the same cable configuration and same limitations, I'm getting a better and a faster read because of the processing speed within the computer itself. It's doing a much better job on the M5 than the M1. And I'm getting a little bit faster. As you can see, my other computer only does like 32, 31 right around there. This is getting 37 read and write. And this is consistent across both of these right here, using this technology here and this computer. Absolutely amazing for an external drive. That is really pretty fast in my book. I like that quite a bit. Now, the last test I'm going to do is just a compression test. I'm going to show you how fast it does a compression. It moves files very quickly. Just a really great computer all around. So if you're looking for a nice quality computer, definitely pick this one up here. This is the way to go. If it's not available online, there'll be a link down below. You can check out the link. Also a QR code over here. Check that out as well. Okay, so the last test I want to show you is the compression I'm going to use the handbrake. I want to show you how fast this will compress something. Here's a file I'm using. So this file size on here is 105 gigabyte. 105 gigabyte file. I'm going to compress this down. So we're going to open this up. Okay, and then I'm going to choose my compression. I want to do this on the general. I want to do this for, let's do 1080. 30 frames. I'm basically compressing it. This is a 1080 frame, a 1080 file. and I want to make it smaller. It's just too big of a file. It's too large if I want to upload to multiple platforms. I don't need 105 gigs. I want to compress that down. So I'll hit here, I'll hit start. And you can see here, it's hard to see in a small section down here in the corner, but it's running a minute and 12 seconds to compress that down running the M5 processor. That's what it's doing. So it's going to take this large file and compress it down, and it's working pretty well. It's about 22 seconds into it, about a minute left. And the fan does kick up when I run this process, or when I run this compressor, which is the first time I've had that happen to me. Usually the fan never runs on this computer whatsoever. The only time it really runs when you have a heavy load, if you're doing a lot of heavy complications, or you're doing something really heavy with maybe 8K, you might end up, now the fan is actually running. I don't know if you can hear it. Yeah, you can hear it a little bit. And the fan's cranking up, and it's getting warm. It's getting warm right around here. It's got only one fan. The upgraded Mac with the faster processors have 2 fans. This only has 1 fan, and that's really, and the only time this ever cranks up when you're doing heavy processing. All the basic editing I'm doing on Final Cut never happens. It's got 9 seconds left. This thing is ripping and roaring. It's ripping that file down, and I'm going to show you the side of that file when it gets finished, and we're going to wrap up the video. And that's really cranking now. That's really ripping and roaring. Yeah, you can hear that fan really cranking. Okay, it is done now. That fan will wind down after it cooled off the processor. So it does. It's working exactly as it's supposed to. That's important. That'll finish up. Let's close down Handbrake. That'll quit that program. So here is the file. Here I just compressed, and let's take a look at the information. Now you can see here, let me just show you a side-by-side comparison here. This is absolutely amazing. I'm just blown away by this technology. So it went from 268 megabytes. It went down that much. That is huge from 100 gigs. I mean, that's just insane. Let's take a look at this side-by-side. Let me just show you that real quick. Let me just pull the second file up, and it's just amazing. Now this M5 processor does a really great job. Now I did the same test on my M1. It was a little bit slower, not a huge difference. So that's why the question is it worth the upgrade from M1 to M5? It's really totally up to you what you're looking for. And for me, it was more about processing speed, but not about that. More about portability. But you can see the side-by-side comparison here: 100.6 gigs down to 268.4 megabytes. That to me is very, very impressive compression. And the fan did heat up a little bit. It didn't take long at all. And for that kind of workload, it was really, really good. Very impressed with this so far. I love this Mac 100%. If you're looking to upgrade from M1 to M5, since I had the i9, it was a no-brainer for me to go to obviously the M5, and I waited for that to come out and I grabbed it. So I'm definitely gonna say, if you're looking to upgrade, and if you have, maybe an M1 plus, you can go to M5. Fine, M2, you can even go to M5, but if I had an M3, I wouldn't do it personally. I would just stick with what you have and then wait for the next evolution, because they're constantly changing, as you know, and they're getting better and better. And the price is not terrible. This was a decent price online. I was happy with the quality, and there'll be a link for these as well. So appreciate your time. Hope you enjoyed. Hope it brought you some information. That's what this video is about. Appreciate your time as always. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next review.